What's up, YouTube? Alrighty, so I'm gonna talk to you guys about how I've been selective breeding. We talked about Springtails the other day, and now I'm gonna show y'all what I've been doing here because I've got a new group I've just separated, and I think that's kind of interesting to take notice of. Alright, so we're gonna go in and talk about what I've been doing right off the bat. Okay, so I've taken I took a wild armadillidium vulgare, and I took a wild, or I shouldn't say wild, I took a Japanese magic potion armadillidium vulgare, and I put them together, not knowing what the outcome would be, knowing that one could be pregnant. This is the case with all of these. It could be pregnant. I just don't know. So, with that being said, I separated, excuse me, I separated my two. They all started in this container first. I was like, okay, I like this container. I want to have an open lid somewhat, la da da da. So, I started my pair in here. Let me stress, I started my pair in here. I used a magic potion that had a lot of yellow, and I used a wild that had yellow. So, moving forward, down the road, obviously I got the ants in that container. Did not speak on that. I still have those ants. They do not climb glass. They are in this container. You might see a little bit of movement in there. We're not gonna focus on that right now. So, that was all in here. Probably a female landed in there, started reproducing, whatever. They coexisted, then I finally found one. So I removed everybody out of there, all the substrate, changed the substrate, started this, I dumped everybody from here into here because this was my first group of Japanese in Florida. So at that point, I'm getting more of a gym mix. This is where I'm going with this. You see the black spots? Then it could be debris on that one, but we're starting to see black spots on some of these. So, if you look at a Japanese magic potion, I even made a group. I called it the brown spot magic potion. These are pure bloodline. They just contained more brown spotting than some of the others. So you see there, it's deep brown, a reddish brown spotting. Okay? So these are not my OG. They are my OG group, but they're selective pulled from the OG original group. Okay, so putting them back so nothing gets out of place. I want to keep my pures up here. I actually am putting the black spot up here as well. This is my original group. My pulled high yellows and put them in that. And this most recently was something I pulled and just started trying to get more, as well as this. Started putting the higher yellows from all the original groups, because that is too. That's original magic potion as well. So all those are reproducing extremely well. So I was like, forget it. Let's ramp it up. That's what this is. This on top is my rubber ducky that I showed you the Springtails in. So, like I was saying, so the first group, you get a lot of this. From this, I want to selective breed what I can. Now, I only got one hand here, so I'll turn my light on. Look right in here, something like that. There's a high yellow on that one right there. I would pull something like that. Over time, that's going to change. That's a pretty high yellow, but he's being left. He's not high enough yellow. Here's another pretty high yellow. So, anyway, those are what I'm trying to reproduce. Something like this right here that shows very little, if no yellow on it, gets taken out. I do not keep these. So in this case, I'm also looking at separating some of these white and yellow because their bodies are definitely different. Anyway, and it won't be for this group. Anyway, so this is a way that direction went for mixing the two Armadillidium vulgare. Now, when I first started this, I questioned, am I wrong in the identification of the wild species here? And that was a huge question. Or I just didn't have the answer in the beginning. I just kept researching, trying to figure it out. Eventually we had babies. And then there were a lot of white babies too. So I've been also moving away from having any of the white in the group, and no magic potion of any variety. So that's what crocodile skinks get. Occasionally the bearded dragon. So next we ended up, I'm getting this all out of line. Okay, I've actually started 2 new groups, and both of those are right here right now. So we have our high yellow, and I believe this is high yellow 1. Again, you're gonna have a lot of different colors in there. Ooh, there's a beautiful white skirting on that one. Look at that. So something like that is what I'm trying to put in this white skirt group. Man, I'm definitely gonna pull that. Give me a second. All right, so that's what I pulled. Sorry, I'm using my phone and it's very difficult, but that is what I pulled. You can see the bright white on the bottom. That is, and I like the high yellow. I don't want these getting too all over the house because like my wheels there, baseboards, all that's sprayed. So that's black spot. This is another reason you label. This is my white skirting. So we're gonna put that one in here. Okay, so the white skirting is one I just started. Like I was bored. I don't even see where the one I just dropped is. Okay, yeah I do. I think it's right there. Anyway, so we are gonna look, see if we can find the other ones. Here's one. Actually, here's 2. 2 of them are together, which is a good thing. So here's 2 more that had the white skirting. Right now I'm not focusing on the brown or red being in it, and I would like to stick with the high yellow, but that may cause a flaw later, so I may have to move out of that with the white skirts. Anyway, so like I said, that is a fairly new group, so there's not that many. Now, the hybrid yellow, this was the second one. This is the first one, hybrid yellow 1. All right, so this is where it went in the first group. See quite a bit of yellow in here. Some of those I would pull, like this one right here. That could kind of get pulled. I want to leave that parent. There's a lot of high yellow in here, but this was the first group. Oh, as you can see here though too. Oh shit, and I just dropped it. I believe this is one that I would take out. Faint skirting, hardly any yellow. So something like that actually comes out. I come over best I can, just toss it in there. So that's, I mean, pretty much my daily routine. When I was at Amazon, I did it more. I've actually been trying to get into the hay to make it so I don't have to maintenance as much. There are some reasons I'm testing this, and also mites. The mites don't seem to like the hay. Anyway, so that's what happens with this. I mean, you can see there's quite a few, or there were more a minute ago, but there's another one with some white skirting. It's not as white as those others we just pulled, but it's a little shorter too. The ones I just pulled had a higher skirting. So all these are little detail factors that you wanna look at for your groups and your pairs. Obviously, when your first group is starting out, you can start with more than one. Like you saw me just put another skirted one in there. I put the one, I guess we haven't got to the black spots. I did talk about the brown spot with the magic potion, but what I'm finding from mixing the Florida with the magic potion is I'm getting a black spotting now. And how I discovered that was this container. I also tested some other things. Like, I didn't just start one container. I started multiples of pairs and stuff like that. So you will see some other colors in here. Some of these I'm going to take out, but like that could have some potential in time. Hard to say. Right now I'm just going to say forget it and pull it. Oh, here's a nice high yellow. So like I said, I started different groups trying to get this kind of yellow coming out, and then I saw you can have it more blended differently. So obviously I haven't pulled some of these. Here, I'll put those in the cup for now. I'll put those in the tank in a little while. So this was one, and you saw how it went. That was after this group started doing this thing. So this group starts doing its thing. I see a few. Obviously, since then, I've been pulling the solids out, kind of limiting the gene pool more and more on their colors. Takes more time to do it this way. A lot more time to do it this way. But it seems like it's longer when you're mixing up pairs. Things go real slow. But then once they do get established, you start seeing more of those colors. Obviously, even in this group, there are some that are like more wild-like. They just keep doing their thing, but that's why you move to the next. Another pair comes along. And I believe, yeah. You see how much white's coming out in this? As I've paired them, you still get some reds. And look, it's a high yellow, so there will be some reds in this. That one definitely needs to come out. That's an ugly one to me. Anyway. Oops, my bad. All right, so we're gonna put lids on these. I'm gonna throw them back up in there real quick and we'll move forward. What I was doing was rearranging so y'all could also see the reds. I wasn't gonna show them, but here's where the yellows went. We've talked about this numerous times. I've already moved half this stuff, so they're kind of all over right now. Looking here, there's all the new babies. You see all the whites coming out. There's a lot of mixing. So some of these could have already been pregnant coming into this group, which isn't a big deal, but it puts all these other wild colors, gem mixing into the group. So obviously I'm gonna have that in here. That's gonna be the first ones born, so they're gonna be older than everything else. They will be easy to separate, but not easy because I'm not digging up all their dirt either. In time, it'll just get easier. Golly, look how yellow that one is. I mean, that is just, it's what I want. I want that reproducing true to color. So I use these as the example because this is easy to talk about. These are quick, but it's the same as selective breeding with animals. These are just a little quicker. They don't have, I'm not seeing any like issues with them, like being smaller, or actually, I take that back. These are normal size, but this container are all way smaller than the normal groups. You see the black spots in that. So that is where I've been going with things. The yellow is really what I'm looking for. Bright, bright yellow. Now some of these have faint yellow, more of a white, and those might have to come out. Some of this might lead to albino coming out, and I'm trying to stay away from it, but the yellow might have something to say about that, and that's why all these babies are bad for an example because they're always white or some color, but it's hard to explain. The babies, you can see variations early on. As they grow up, you can see like that one might stay completely white its whole life. It's hard to say. Oh, the other thing I've noticed about the Japanese magic potion have lighter eyes. Okay, so like this is pure. This is a pure group. If we look at their eyes, we can't, they're very tiny. Very tiny eyes. Like hardly seen, kind of blend in, right? So if we go to these, I mean, I just noticed this the other day. This is really the second time I've even kind of addressed it. Problem is I gotta find it. I'm seeing nothing. Nada. So we'll go to the moisture area where all the water is. So label side, while we're searching, label side, I put sphagnum moss. Just dried sphagnum. Put that over there to retain the moisture. That way if the whole enclosure dries out, you would think this would be easier to find. Alrighty, so we're gonna put this down here because my hand's dirty and it's kind of distracting, I think. So we'll do it like this. What we're looking for here are the black spots. Unfortunately, he's dirty. You can actually see the black spots on their bellies. Come on, bud, flip yourself over. There you go. Oh. You can see a couple of the spots here. All right, we kind of got cut off there. We already talked about the eyes of the others, which it wasn't really kind of showing up too well on the camera, so we're moving on past that. The other group I had, I wanted to see how they coexist with plants. Now, I've recently lost this. It started kind of dying as it got colder. The others seem to be doing well. I've recently cut all these back. This one over here may be dying as well. I don't see any new growth on. Oh yeah, we do. We got a little itty bitty nub right up in here. I don't think y'all can see that at all, but it's a little thing. Anyway, so that's coming back. I wanted to see how the Isopod do with the plants. The thing dying, I can't explain that. I think it has to do with these gnats, because the same situation. I actually just pulled this out of that container, but this started to happen outside. But I started to notice that it was leaking. So I was like, dang, it's gonna die now. The top was doing okay. The smaller branch was what was dying, and I brought it inside trying to keep that from happening. And well, it didn't. And now I'm losing that one too. But that may be my fault from cutting it. Anyway, I just put some food in here for these guys as well. Nobody's coming out. Here's some here. Just little babies, some here. This is where I keep the fireflies. Even though it's dark right now, the light still is on schedule with the summer, not winter. Yeah, here's a gnat. So this I thought was gonna be packed the other day with roly-polies, and definitely did not get the results I thought I'd see the other day. And that's why that video kind of changed direction. Anyway, you can see this life all over. I mean, literally all over. I've got a few rocks in here that I used to lift up and look under. Obviously, they do their thing under rocks as well. That's how I used to find roly-polies when I was a kid. It's under rocks in the yard. But these days, they just sit there. I don't flip them. See one coming out of the hole right here. Anyway, those are more of my pure Japanese magic potion. show you these guys. Guess we'll do an update on these. Y'all can't see anything. Oh, there you go. Once colors adjust, I guess. The layering. And this is what, 6 months later, October-ish, somewhere around there. Oh, actually, I didn't build this for like a month, so either way. You see no isopods, none. You know what else I don't see? Springtail. So, some of these populations you got to keep recycle or keep updating to keep them fresh. Yeah, I chew. Some of it is that it's just not established completely, and I don't mean the plants. Well, I guess I do, because they'll eat the plants that have fallen or decomposing and all that, or the leaves and stuff mainly. But also poop from these critters is what the springtail really like, and I guess the isopod as well. So some of that has to accumulate before these insects actually do their job, before they start populating, because they need food to create babies. Need food for the babies. Anyway, we'll look at more of this later. Yeah, I was hoping I could get that for you. So these guys actually made a hole in there. I can't focus any differently for you. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off. You guys take care, and good luck with your own projects.